Joining me now is Richard Mullaney. He's the Executive Director of Haskell Public Policy Institute at Jacksonville University. Rick, welcome to the program. Do you think this agreement addresses the underlying budget disputes that triggered the shutdown, or simply puts a Band-Aid on the problem and, postpones basically another standoff till the end of January?
Well, it's great to be with you. And if I had to pick one of those two, I'd say more of a Band-Aid, but a fairly significant one. In the eyes of the moderates, what they did come away with is an agreement to negotiate a vote in December. And remember, there may be a shutdown in the future come 2026. There's a great deal of focus on the fracture in the Democratic Party, but it does put the Republicans in a difficult position. If they don't go forward with these subsidies, they're looking at the midterms for next year. Those subsidies are very important with millions of Americans. And so I do think for the Republicans, they're going to be in a little bit more difficult spot, potentially facing shutdowns in 2026, midterm elections in 2026. So for now, it's advantage Republicans. They got what they wanted in apparently ending
well,
the shutdown.
Go ahead, Rick.
But for Democrats, the progressive wing is pretty upset with this, but I'd hold off until that vote in December.
Well, yeah, that's what I was going to talk about. The 8 senators who broke rank now getting a lot of heat from their colleagues who say they essentially caved in without tangible guarantees on those health care benefits they had fought to get. How deep of a rift has this created? And didn't the Democrats really have more leverage here after last Tuesday's election where we saw sweeping victories?
Well, the answer to several of those pieces, first of all, they do have pretty significant leverage, and they did have a sweeping victory. But I do think that, and the fracture will be pretty furious in the near term. We'll have to see how it plays out longer term. Remember, in the end, there was increasing pressure on Republicans and Democrats to reach a deal. The SNAP benefits are very significant. Thanksgiving is looming with the air traffic controllers and travel plans. Military not getting paid. And so there was a tremendous pressure. And I do think, like Senator Kaine from Virginia, he wanted those fired workers to be rehired, which they're going to be under this agreement. So there's a little bit of something for everybody in this, but I would hold off all the criticism necessarily. Well, let's wait and see what happens in December on that vote. There will be some pressure on the Republicans to extend those ACA subsidies.
From day one, I mean, this is something the Democrats had really harped on. They had argued they're not going to budge until Republicans agree to extend those healthcare subsidies. So I'm just curious, what happened? Why the change, the switch now?
I think some of it relates to what I mentioned a moment ago. I think that the effects of the shutdown are growing more dramatic. It starts off slowly where a few federal workers aren't getting paid. Then all of a sudden flights are being canceled. Then people around the country aren't receiving their food benefits. Then you're getting an impact on GDP, and it can cost billions of dollars. And then a growing recognition for some senators that this wasn't maybe the best path to get those extensions of the subsidies. But for the progressive wing of the party, this was important because this is the one piece of leverage that they have with Donald Trump and the administration. And that is the filibuster, because it requires 6 votes, and the ability to get what they want on a policy issue, healthcare, and leverage the shutdown to do it. But I think the growing pain for the country was getting pretty severe, and a different pathway possibly to those subsidies is what those more moderate Democrats saw.
There's so much backlash among the progressives who had supported the Democrats as they really stood united here. Talk about a long-term impact, not just for those 8 senators who broke rank, but really for the Democratic Party.
Well, for the Democratic Party, the fracture is real. Are you going to learn the lessons of last year, of 2024, or are you going to learn the lessons of 2025? A week ago, and what lessons are you learning? Some of them may find themselves in a primary battle come this spring, but before this spring, there will be this vote on the extension of these subsidies, and you're going to see this continuing tension between the progressive wing of the party and the Democrat and the more centrist wing, and all of it pointing to a year from now for those midterm elections in 2026. For now, there is this deep fracture, but as this plays out in the weeks ahead, we're going to have to wait and see what happens over the next few weeks. And quite frankly, will we be facing potentially more shutdowns in 2026?
Rick Mullaney, I know this is the first time on the air with us, so welcome to the program and really appreciate your take. Thank you so much.
Great being with you.